you can count on us. This is 7 News Good Morning Fort Sill.
Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us for this Thursday edition of Good Morning Fort Sill.
It feels like it's one of those mornings that the soldiers out there getting ready for PT are just loving, because right now we're nearing the 50s. Can we get to the 50s today, Michael?
I know, that's the question. Are we going to hit it or not?
Well, we'll see. Right now, temperatures are currently 62 at Fort Sill. You have to wait a few hours before the temperature slowly starts to get into the upper 50s, so we'll see about that. But currently 62, and the winds are pretty calm out there and clear skies, so not a bad start to your morning. And as far as this model is concerned, we may get into the upper 50s by the time we get to around 7 a.m. So who knows? We'll see. And then as we get into around 8 to 9 a.m., we'll be in the mid to upper 60s, close to 70 degrees. Satellite radar, not a cloud in the sky. It's pretty quiet out there. You got to zoom out to see a lot of the precipitation that we saw yesterday with that cold front is well to the south in the Gulf. And yesterday, mainly our southern counties saw a couple of inches of rain, just under half an inch, under a quarter of an inch, I should say, of rain yesterday. Pretty quiet in the Jackson County Memorial Hospital Tower came out in Altus. And looking at the almanac yesterday, we had a high of 83 degrees yesterday, which is around normal for this time of year. And elsewhere, we've seen temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 70s, lower to mid 80s yesterday, 85 in Graham, 84 in Wichita Falls.
Well, after yesterday's deadly shooting at an immigration center in Texas, ICE facilities across the country are now ramping up security.
So the gunman opened fire from a rooftop, and now authorities are revealing the evidence at the scene, pointing to a potential motive. ABC's Perry Russum has the details.
New details about the man authorities say opened fire on this Dallas Immigration and Customs Enforcement office, killing one detainee and injuring 2 others before turning the gun on himself.
Rounds that were found near the suspected shooter contain messages that are anti-ICE in nature.
Authorities say they found ammunition at the scene and the words anti-ICE scrawled on one of the casings. Officials say 29-year-old Joshua John specifically targeted the office. John's childhood friends telling ABC he was not overtly political when he was young, saying he was mostly interested in video games. One saying, "Josh was the least political out of all the people I knew in high school." SWAT teams early yesterday responding to reports of a man firing from a rooftop into the secure entryway as a van was transporting detainees. Police say the suspect's vehicle had a poster taped to the fender showing a map of alleged nuclear fallout. It appears to be from a book that advocates against the use of nuclear weapons. The connection to the attack is not clear. Assaults on officers have risen dramatically since January.
1,000% more than we ever had. And it's just getting worse, and these keep getting elevated and elevated.
A man was arrested at the same facility last month after threatening to detonate a bomb. And in July, armed assailants in tactical gear attacked another ICE facility in Texas, wounding an officer. ICE says agents are wearing face coverings to protect themselves from being targeted. California last week passing a bill that will ban agents from wearing masks to conceal their identity. But federal officials say they will not comply with that law.
The state of California does not have the power to regulate us, and I've directed our agencies to disregard this silly bill.
Mexican officials say one of the detainees shot yesterday was a Mexican national who is in critical condition. Perry Russum, ABC News, New York.
Well, in news covering a lot in Fort Sill, it's National Suicide Prevention Month, and one new local nonprofit has plans to help at-risk veterans here in Southwest Oklahoma.
So Dove Family Veteran Association is teaching families triggers and warning signs in veterans. The organization's goal is to help lower the number of veteran suicides every day through family-focused support. They're reaching out to the community to offer educational resources, suicide prevention training, mental health programs, and more, all to educate and empower veterans and their families so they can live fulfilling lives after service.
Right now, Dove is hard at work getting things off the ground. The driving force behind the organization says that services like these are needed now more than ever.
There's 22 veterans that commit suicide daily, and in a meeting with the veteran associations of local law, and it's actually being talked about going up and talked about even maybe to 25.
All of the members of our board, all 8 of them throughout all the states, have all lost a soldier to the 22 or a veteran to the 22 a day. I know more people who have died coming back home than overseas.
So far, they're raising funds for their organization through community outreach. You can find them at various events in the area like Chickasha's Twister Fest on October 3rd and 4th.
Now, if you can't see them in person, you can find their GoFundMe on their website. Mental health is important, so don't ignore your own. If you or a loved one is struggling, call or text 988 for help. Well, Air Force Entertainment is calling all music lovers across Texoma to come out for an evening of fun at Fall Fest.
So Shepherd Air Force Base will be the first stop on the tour tomorrow evening. That event will be taking place at Compass Park.
But if you missed that show, you can head to Altus Air Force Base Saturday to catch it. The concert will be taking place at the field next to Club Altus. Events start at 4 p.m. for both shows. The music gets underway at 6:15 each night.
Now, country music star Andy Grammer, rapper Bryce Vine, and pop duo 303 will be performing. It actually looks pretty fun there, Kyle. So the concerts are free to attend, and they are open to all those with base access.
And just a reminder that Fort Sill has a couple of great events this weekend, including the annual Marine Corps Devil Dog Run, as well as a men's softball tournament.
That's right. The Devil Dog Run is on Saturday at the Patriot Club. Check-in is at 7 a.m. with start time at 8 o'clock. Cost is $45. They're also having a huge buffet-style brunch at the Patriot Club that day, so you can get your grub on after you compete. That brunch runs until noon on Saturday. Cost is $18 for adults. Kids 9 to 12, it's $12, and 4 and under are free. For more information on the brunch or to register for the Devil Dog Run, you can visit sill.armymwr.com.
And if running isn't quite your thing, you can grab a bat and glove and compete in the 2025 Fort Sill Men's Softball Tournament. That kicks off at 9 o'clock Saturday morning at the Sports Complex just inside Bentley Gate on Sheridan Road. It's open to the public, and the cost is $350 a team. Teams are limited to 15 players on the roster, and games will be played under ASA rules. For more information or to register, you can call or email the point of contact on your screen.
Well, this week, Shepherd Air Force Base welcomed a distinguished delegation from the Ivory Coast to their training facility.
Representatives toured the base and got a look at how the 82nd Training Wing trains the next generation of airmen.
Now, leaders say that the visits sparked meaningful dialogue, strengthened global partnerships, and reaffirmed their shared commitment to international collaboration and excellence. Well, the Army Deputy Chief of Staff G9 will be disestablished in January of next year. We'll provide the details of that change coming up after the break.
7 News, working for you every night at 5 and 6.
This just in, the town of Velma is being evacuated.
Stay connected to the team you trust your way. Get breaking news and investigations here on the 7 News app.
Mark, what are you seeing?
Right now I'm here at 2nd and F.
Instant forecast with real-time alerts here on the First Alert 7 weather app. And stream live on your TV here or watch anytime on your schedule. Download all 3 for free. Stay connected to 7 News wherever you are. Here's your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Michael Amanqua.
Well, good morning, folks. Let's look at our temperatures right now. We're sitting in the upper 50s to low to mid 60s. Currently 62 in Lawton and in Fort Sill, 59 in Anadarko, a little bit cooler in our northwestern counties in the upper 50s, 59 in Childress and in Elk City, 64 in Altus, 65 in Wichita Falls, 71 in Waurika, and 64 in Bowie. Looking at our 24 temperature hour change, we're anywhere between 4 to 9 degrees cooler than we were yesterday. We're getting a reinforcement of some cooler air moving through the area. So that's why we were starting to see a lot of that cooler air continue to filter in. The relative humidity values, well, they're still high, anywhere between 80 and 90% out there. Winds are out of the northwest, anywhere between 0 to 15 miles per hour. But for most of us, they're mainly between the 0 to 5 mile per hour range. And we're going to start having more of a omega block pattern take shape across the area, with pretty much high pressure in the center of the country, an area of low pressure to the east, and an area of low pressure to the west. That's going to give us much drier weather as we head towards the weekend and into early next week. And taking a look at the tropics right now, we do have Hurricane Gabrielle. That's going to continue to push its way towards the eastern Atlantic, towards Europe. And we do have Tropical Storm Humberto right now that will continue to strengthen as it heads towards the northwest. And we do have Invest 94L that we're watching for some development as well. And as you can see across the country, that cold front that came through earlier this week as well towards the south, and a lot of the shower and storm activity will continue to stay towards the south. Higher pressure will continue to dominate the northwest with a lot of cooler air continuing to filter into our region.
Well, the Army is making a major organizational change. According to a new general order, the Office of the Deputy Chief of Staff G9 will be disestablished in January.
So the Army's G1 office is taking on the responsibility for soldier and family quality of life programs, including morale, welfare, and recreation, or MWR. The G1 will also oversee prevention and resilience programs.
At the same time, the G4 office will assume responsibility for installation management, infrastructure, and non-appropriated funded programs tied to Army recreation facilities.
So, Kyle, I actually reached out to the Army Office of the Chief of Public Affairs about this general order yesterday. They gave me a call on this, as a matter of fact. They basically said that no services are being cut, and it really won't change anything below the headquarters department of the Army level. Now, we talked about a few stories about the Army Transformation Initiative that's ongoing, and this, quite frankly, I think is part of the consolidation and streamlining of certain organizations in the Army. You know, TRADOC, we just talked about yesterday. TRADOC's having its inactivation ceremony this week as they merge with Army Futures Command. We're seeing that locally, some of those structure changes locally here at Fort Sill, with the cross-functional teams getting ready to basically consolidate and merge with a couple other organizations on Fort Sill. So it'll be interesting to see how this flushes out. We will make sure to monitor this and probably report back on this later as we see some of the downstream effects of it.
Yeah, hopefully we won't see a big impact, but I guess only time will tell.
Hopefully not, yeah. Well, the Army has announced new monthly bonuses for 100 senior warrant officers aimed at keeping their technical expertise in the force.
So the Warrant Officer Retention Bonus is a financial incentive targeting more than a dozen military occupational specialties, many of which are cyber and intelligence focused, for Chief Warrant Officers with 17 to 21 years of active service.
So those who take the bonus will receive monthly payouts of around $1,500 a month and incur an additional duty service obligation between 3 to 6 years. The Army rolled out an initial version of this warrant officer bonus program in August, but has since reduced the 8-year service obligation that came with it.
Well, new Air Force recruits reporting to boot camp next month can expect some changes to their basic military training experience.
So the Air Force says they are shifting their focus towards working out in a new series of field events that simulate deployments to combat zones. Daily exercise time will increase from 60 to 90 minutes and will include more high-intensity interval training, longer runs, and more cardio-focused exercises.
So the first 848 trainees will begin BMT 2.0 next month at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas.
Well, according to the Department of War, the National Guard has exceeded their fiscal year 2025 recruiting goals.
So the Army National Guard and the Air National Guard have combined to enlist almost 50,000 new members as of this month. The National Guard currently has over 400,000 soldiers and airmen in their ranks, making 2025 one of their most successful years in over a decade.
So leaders attribute the ability to retain a civilian military life balance and more people being eager to serve as the reason for the surge.
Well, still to come, the Palestinian Authority president is set to virtually address the UN General Assembly today. We'll provide the details after this break.
7 News, working for you every night at 5 and 6.
This just in, the town of Velma is being evacuated.
Stay connected to the team you trust your way. Get breaking news and investigations here on the 7 News app.
Mark, what are you seeing?
Right now I'm here at 2nd and F.
Instant forecast with real-time alerts here on the First Alert 7 weather app. And stream live on your TV here or watch anytime on your schedule. Download all 3 for free. Stay connected to 7 News wherever you are.
A Yemeni strike has hit southern Israel in response to the IDF's ongoing war in Gaza.
So that strike comes as Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas is set to give a virtual speech to the UN General Assembly today as many countries call to recognize the Palestinian state. CNN's Oren Lieberman has a preview.
even as a number of world leaders at the UN General Assembly talk about the importance of bringing a ceasefire to Gaza that would end the war after nearly 2 years. Israel is continuing to press its assault on Gaza City. The Israeli military chief saying forces will push deeper into the city itself and carry out larger strikes targeting what it sees as one of Hamas's last remaining strongholds. But we see what's unfolding as a result of these strikes. Gaza hospitals say nearly 100 have been killed on Wednesday, most of those in northern Gaza. Shortly after 1 in the morning, Gaza's civil defense says an Israeli strike killed 22 people, including 9 children, in the Firas market in the old city of Gaza City, and we have seen the results of that strike. Israel's military says they were targeting 2 Hamas terrorists in that strike, but they did not name who they were targeting or specify the 2 people that they were targeting in that strike. They also say that they are aware of reports regarding casualties, but their numbers do not align with what we're seeing reported from Gaza's civil defense. Meanwhile, a drone launched from Yemen struck the Israeli city of Eilat in southern Israel on Wednesday, resulting in at least 22 injuries, according to Israel's emergency responders, including 2 seriously injured as a result of shrapnel from that strike. Israel has intercepted most of the drones and ballistic missiles launched from the Iran-backed Houthis, but we have seen several in recent weeks pierce Israel's aerial defense and carry out strikes in Israel. So that continues to escalate between Israel and the Houthis. Oren Lieberman, CNN in Jerusalem.
So President Abbas is appearing virtually at the assembly due to the Trump administration barring him from entering the U.S. by refusing to issue a visa.
And today's speech comes after a UN inquiry concluded that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza, which the Israeli government refutes. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky used his moment on the global stage at the UN General Assembly to issue a warning and make a plea to world leaders. So
Zelensky stressing the need for more military aid in order to keep fighting Russia. He also told the UN that we're in the midst of the most destructive arms race in human history.
Zelensky called out the international body for not providing effective solutions to end wars.
We count on the United States. I appreciate the support we are receiving. Yes, much depends on the G7 and G20, but in the end, peace depends on all of us, on the United Nations. So don't stay silent while Russia keeps dragging this war on.
Well, today's military good news. An event this weekend in Georgia hopes to spread awareness on the issue of homelessness among female veterans.
So Destin Howard gives us a preview of the event that aims to change lives across the military.
The No Roof City event will specifically bring attention to women veterans experiencing homelessness. Experts say they often find it more difficult to ask for help.
Me and my friend, we was going to look for an apartment. Okay. And so she was telling me about the Joy House, and she brought me around here. Okay. And so when I saw what the Joy House was like, well, what Genesis was like, I put in an application.
That's how 7-year Army veteran Rhonda Stoutmeyer found her way to the Genesis Joy House. The Joy House is the only transitional housing in Georgia that serves female veterans and their children.
I tell you, they really helped me a lot, you know. And so when you come in here, if you take advantage of the resources and you let them help you, you can go far.
The Joy House is a 9-unit studio apartment facility with a 90 to 120-day program, but the work doesn't stop there.
And then we put them on that path with a community of resources, partners, such as Volunteers of America. They will come in and help to cover up to 12 months of rent for our female veterans as we help to just put them on the path of home ownership.
The No Roof City Sleep Out will be at Memorial Park in Warner Robins from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. this Saturday. People who want to participate can make an online or in-person donation of $100.
Our goal is to step into the shoes of some of the female veterans that we're supporting so that we can have a better understanding and empathy and then build awareness for what they're going through on a daily basis.
The event also shedding a light on the many mental and behavioral challenges that homeless vets may be met with.
There's a vulnerability that increases risk for health challenges, functional impairment in various levels, and co-occurring disorders such as mental health and substance use.
In the military, they teach you to be strong and don't ask for help, and things like that. And so that's what's instilled in our brains when we get out.
Even if you don't participate in this weekend's Sleep Out, the Genesis Joy House is always accepting donations.
Here's your first alert forecast with meteorologist Michael Amanqua.
And the last look at your PT forecast, temperatures will be in the upper 50s and lower 60s, and we will have mostly clear skies, and then temperatures will slowly start rising into the mid to upper 60s by the time we get to around 9, even into 10 a.m. And looking at your future track, mostly clear as we go throughout much of your Friday. Maybe a few clouds are possible going into your, I should say too much of your Thursday. Now going to your Thursday into your Friday morning, mostly clear skies, and then mostly clear as we go into much of your Friday, maybe a few clouds in our far northwestern counties. As we go into our weekend on your Saturday, maybe a little bit more cloud cover as you go to your Saturday and your Sunday, and we can't squeeze out maybe a 10% chance of an isolated shower or storm on your Monday, but I really do believe precipitation chances are really low at this time, and then we start to clear out those clouds by the time we get to your Tuesday. A high of 84 for today with mostly sunny skies. Will be mild out there, and we'll have northwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. 58 for our low tonight, with it will be pretty much clear and cool. Northwest winds at 0 to 10. And then as you go into tomorrow, high of 86 degrees, so a little bit warmer. Mostly sunny skies, and northwest winds to slowly start switching to the south, anywhere between 0 and 10 miles an hour. Looking at your 7-day forecast, our temperatures will continue to be in the mid to upper 80s for your highs, and lows at night will still be in the upper 50s and lower 60s. As we go into your weekend, temperatures will warm up just a little bit, and then as we go into your Monday, maybe a few more clouds are possible. And then looking at your bonus forecast, temperatures will continue to be in the 80s as you go into next week.
Gotta say, really happy not to see 90s returning on that bonus forecast.
Yeah, bonus forecast kind of looks like a little bit of a copy paste there, but I'm okay with the 80s all the way.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for watching Good Morning Fort Sill. Check that 7 News app today for updates and breaking news.